I was watching some behind-the-scenes footage of the station, and it looks like an actual train station that you guys shot. Like, you rebuilt a massive. The set for that is incredible.
It was such a thrill to do, and one of the loveliest things to be able to say to Judi Dench and Johnny Depp were coming on set one Monday morning, and they said, "Just remind us what happens now." I said, "Well, the Orient Express is about to leave Istanbul station," and they said, "So what's going to happen though?" I said, "Well, the Orient Express is going to leave Istanbul station. That's what's going to happen." They said, "But no, but it's not going to move. We're going to get it. What are you going to actually do?" I said, "The Orient Express is going to leave the station." I said, "Okay, so open the doors." So we opened the doors at the end of the soundstage, and there was the track stretching out for a mile, and the real train in our real set, in our real Istanbul station, was going to move and whistle, and its engine was going to go, and they were going to leave. And they were really bowled over by that. And one of the reasons for doing something like that, not that you need this with these two great actors, but their childlike excitement about the thing leaving and it moving was in their faces, and you could see it and feel it. So suddenly you get that. When we were scouting for the movie, tough scout, obviously, wherever we've got to go on the Orient Express. To see all these people like the cinematographer Haris Ambalukos and production designer Jim Clay, they'd been involved in amazing pictures over the years, see them get so excited waiting for that train to come in. We wanted to do anything we could, whether it was the format or the set builds, to kind of bring. I always believe if you've got that kind of excitement on set, if you've got something real experienced by everybody working on it, not just the actors, but that the audience intuits it, you can they feel something's there that's different, may not be better or worse, but there's something extra. And when actors came on, the very first time all of them met, so not all of them had worked together before. They were a very interestingly shy group of people down the steps just before coming up onto the restaurant car of the Orient Express, where I was standing, very nervous. I thought, Christ, I've got all these people for the first time. What am I going to say? They were the body language was very much sort of first day at school, and with some weird things going on, like a lot of the girls and boys going to Judi Dench and curtsying. She'd obviously played the Queen too many times, and her process is always, she says, "Oh, the most wonderful part of a job is saying yes. It's great, that moment they ask you to say yes. Everything about it's painful after that, including the first day when she always looks like she's about 7 years old. She's so terrified. So she's looking weird because they're curtsying to her. And so I saw them do that. And then the first person up the steps was Michelle Pfeiffer, tears in her eyes. I thought, oh God, something's gone wrong. I said, what's up? She said, I just met Judi Dench. And she was really, very touched by that. So, but then, they really went for the idea of let's not rehearse, let's just do it. And so they all got on board. And we said, okay, well, so the shot starts up here. It's on a close-up of Willem Dafoe. And then Tom Bateman's going to walk through the compartment, and as he does so, we go past Josh Gad, and then Daisy Ridley and Penelope Cruz. You'll see the bloke in the back there, and then past Judi Dench and past Olivia Colman, and then there's Josh Gad, and then we get to the bloke in the back. Oh, the bloke in the back's Johnny Depp, and that was a nice feat, a nice kind of piece of excitement for everybody. Everybody had a line, and I had the real sense that nobody wanted to mess up in a way that was inspiring rather than just sort of pressurized. They wanted to. They all knew they'd have their individual moments to shine, but unusually in these group scenes, there was an extra kind of frisson. And if the guy at the back is Johnny Depp, then for me that's sort of definition of luxury casting.
Well, also, if he is the last person that the camera is going to get to, nobody wants to be the one to mess up before it gets to him.
Oh, boy.
Nobody wants to hear Johnny Depp go, because of them, something they did at the front.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that kind of thing where you're suddenly going, who did that? Oh, Judi Dench. Oh, why does she keep doing that? Yeah.
A couple days ago, Josh Gad, Leslie, and Tom Bateman were here, and they said that you quizzed them on their characters. Yeah. That when you first met, one, you sent Tom homework, essentially, but when Josh and Leslie got in, you, quizzed them in front of them. Now, what made you do that? Because
one thing I did not want to have was the sense that the performances were theatrical, or that we ever ignored the fact that underneath the work of this this popular author, Agatha Christie, she's after the Bible and Shakespeare, she's the most read author on the entire planet. That's pretty impressive. 66 novels and 50 short stories and 20 plays. It's quite so. So she obviously she's got something, and what's at the centre of almost all of these is death. Is often violent death. And so well, rather than take it merely as a kind of as a sort of Cluedo-style puzzle, which in itself can be incredibly stimulating and fun, and we wanted to have that as well. But we wanted to feel that when each of these characters are in an interview with Poirot, that their answer is a matter of life and death. If they are discovered to have been the perpetrator of this murder, they will die. They'll die very instantly, and they'll be hung in the former Yugoslavia in 1934 in the snow. And so we wanted to feel that there wasn't a kind of, people weren't too sort of familiar with this. I always think, I mean, you know, there's times when you walk through, if you're at an airport and you walk through customs, and, you know, 9 times out of 10, I think most people don't have anything particularly to be worried about, and you often get quite worked up as the beady eyes of the authorities may focus on you. So it was a tiny example of saying, look, let's feel that life or death scenario. So, also, Leslie had to do an accent, and Josh was going to be shooting really early on. So we wanted to just feel as though what you might call the backstory, everything to do with, you know, we'd ask some questions. So you just start and go, well, so what do you have for breakfast this morning? What, you know, why do you like that kind of toast? Where did you buy it from? How much money do you earn? What kind of sleep do you have? Do you worry about your sleep? Do you worry about cushions and things like? You just go like all over the shop. So, but they've got to answer quickly, not think about it, but start to have something which is before their very eyes is the beginnings of their character, and then you try and sort of throw them a bit by asking, you know, more specific questions about whether they like someone or whether they agree with the death penalty or any number of things that suddenly they are not somebody reciting words on a page. They are people who are also doing the thing I really wanted, which was to react in the moment. Constantly we wanted to feel as though, and there was a specific example with Daisy Ridley. We're in the scene outside the train, we're in the snow, and we often like to keep the camera running and, you know, sometimes improvise things and just keep going. You know, we just say, okay, keep going, don't cut. And in so doing, she forgot her lines one moment, but I'd always said to people, if you do forget your lines, keep going, just keep going, because obviously we can get the scissors in and be fine. And we got to the end of the take. She said, oh, no, so sorry about that. I said, that's in the movie. What just happened is in the movie, because as you forgot your lines and then decided that you'd keep going, what I saw was the character, Mary Debenham, lying to Poirot and having been caught out lying. And it was really electric because you really saw a completely visible moment of decision, which was real. Didn't have no acting, no schmacting, just a kind of bit of, ooh, you know, walking through customs, but except there's a death involved.
It's like the first thing they tell you in acting school is if you forget your lines, just sort of sit there and try to think of something to say, and the audience will project anything onto you.
Sure.
Often it'll be more interesting.
Yeah, well, certainly it's an event. You know, there's a tension to that. I mean, I leant forward because I didn't know quite what was happening. But what I like about that is that and all the others were to a man and woman were the same, was that they embraced the sort of event of that. What you're looking for, even though it's just a conversation between people, is a happening, something that is occurring in that very moment that couldn't happen at any other moment, that has a live quality, an unexpected quality. We did not want the audience to feel as though these are passionate thoughts recollected in tranquility. This is happening right now and could change, and everything affects everything else. So they got prepared, really ready to go. But then once on that train, we always said action straight away, before practically as soon as someone had sat down, because they're all sort of thoroughbreds. You just don't want to keep Michelle Pfeiffer waiting. She comes in just so, you know, like it's like she walks on the set, you want to be saying turn over, because you feel like she's got it. She's already got something, you know. She takes like one last look in the mirror and that's it. She's that character, and you don't want to miss a second of that. You don't want any chit chat or anything. It's just get in.
Right.